everyone, welcome to Bickering Book Reviews. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Becky.
And today we're talking about Wold Hollow by Lauren Wolk. And thank you to Meredith. She's the one that recommended this to us. So, hi Meredith, thank you.
A very long time ago, but it's been a crazy couple of months.
We're working on it.
Yes.
But the thing is, like, our schedule is basically planned until March.
Yeah.
So, we're pretty far planned out. Okay. I listened to the audio. Did you listen to the audio?
I did.
Okay, because I read it the first time through.
Both times I did audio.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I really like the audio reader. She's one of my favorites.
I agree. The audio was really well done. Okay, so it is set in the beginning of World War II. Annabelle begins experiencing terrible bullying from a new classmate, Betty. Soon, Betty expands her targets, which include a World War I vet, Toby. Annabelle is determined to expose the truth before anyone gets seriously hurt. That Betty, man. Like, I just gotta start in on her because she is a ball of terribleness.
Yeah, and so, like, both times I read this, like, it's definitely literature. This is children's literature.
So, I mean, it's so well written, and it's so well done, I think. And
it was a Newbery honor, and we actually are part of a mock Newbery committee, and that was the book we picked last year to win. Even though we weren't, like, crazy in love with it. We're, like, distinguished children's literature. This is the book.
I mean, I certainly think that it's something that you could definitely have in book discussion groups and have in schools and different things like that. Like, this is a prime book for that.
It is.
However, I don't necessarily think that this is something that I'd read to enjoy. Like, I'd read, like, as a leisure read, and I don't necessarily know if as a child I would have enjoyed it.
Oh, I would have hated this book as a kid.
I think it would have scared me.
I don't know if it would have scared me. I don't want to say I was naive, but I was just raised in an odd way that, to me, when people are being mean to someone, they don't realize they were being mean to somebody. Like, oh, you're being mean to so-and-so. You don't realize it, so I'm going to tell you so then you can stop. And so as a child, I would have hated Betty.
Yeah.
There's an issue. I was going to say if there's an issue with it that I really wouldn't have liked, but I don't want to say it is because it kind of gives a big thing away. And you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And it was
well,
scary.
I guess the thing, like, listening to it, though, kind of changed my perception of the book with Betty in that, like, when you're reading a book, you can totally just, when you're, like, visually reading the book, you can just skim past those parts.
Right.
But with the audio, like, I can't quickly glance over those parts. Like, you have to be in it.
Right.
And, like, I think I was more present in this novel when I was listening to it than when I was reading it. And I think I enjoyed it a little bit better because I listened to it. But, because I was, like, getting nauseous with some of the things that Betty was doing.
Right.
And if it's, like, impacting me that way, I can only imagine what an 8-year-old would feel like when they were reading this
Exactly,
book.
Which I guess proves that Wolk did a really good job at doing what she was planning on doing, what she was trying to do.
And I certainly appreciated the fact that Toby existed, that he was a World War I vet with kind of, what do they call it during the time? Like shell shock.
Shell shock.
I mean, it's discussing the fact that not just vets from Vietnam experience post-traumatic stress disorder.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I can certainly appreciate that. I just kind of wonder I don't know if I'm smart enough for this book.
I don't know. I feel like, because people who know me know that, like, I happily read books, like, about serial killers and, like, studies about child mortality, because this is what I studied in college. But then you give me a book with a bully or, like, with a puppy being hurt, and I'm like, I can't read this. It's almost like I'm too delicate in some ways referring to certain topics.
Gosh.
But it's true.
It is. It is. I don't know. Because it's definitely an allegory for war.
It is.
And
it's an interesting coming of age.
It's hard for me to kind of wrap my mind around it, though.
It's an interesting coming of age story of how she, like, because I feel like, I just lost the main character's name, Annabelle. I feel like Annabelle basically was going through that thing that I went through as a child, where you're raised in a household where it's safe and everybody's nice to each other, and then Betty's mean, so Betty must not understand that she's not supposed to be mean.
Yeah.
So I can kind of relate to it that way. We should just rate it.
Okay. So our rating scale goes from 5 unicorns down to 2 unicorns, and if it's sucktacular, we give it a horse. We don't do halves because that is just creepy.
I want halves.
We are not doing halves.
Anyway.
So I'm going to rate it. Actually, I think my rating went up because it was well done. I mean, it was well written. I'm going to go with 4 unicorns.
I'm a 3. I was a 3 a year ago, and I'm a 3 now. And I think part of it is just because 8-year-old Becky wouldn't have liked this book. It would have been, and I was in the advanced reading class, so they would have assigned this in second or probably third grade, and I would have taken it home and be like, I want to read this. I want to read Sweet Valley.
Yeah. Okay. I'm not changing my rating. I refuse.
And so that is where we are on Wolf Hollow by Lauren Wolk.
All right. We'll see you around.
Bye.
Bye.